A well-known anime favorite of the community, it is NAS01 Saint Nurse, with a kit of Perfect Guard, Double Count Repair, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Fix Plus, which passively buffs the heat and cool stats of all repair skill parts on the equipped build. Now, as mentioned, it is always great to see Saint Nurse being highlighted, even though she is in the permanent banner, but even then, she still sports some very solid kit, and some very solid skills that can make her conventional and fantastically used, regardless of where you put her. Perfect Guard is arguably one of the best defense-based skills in the game, as even though it only has 2 charges when fully capped at 5-star, it will intercept and nullify any and all attacks at 0 damage. Of course, the only exceptions to this one being if there is an opponent with Destroy on the field, or in particular, in fairly recent, anyone that has Slip as a particular skill in the enemy kit. Either of these 2 skills will counter and nullify a Perfect Guard, or any kind of guard or shield defense skill in this case, but Perfect Guard is arguably the best out there. She also is fantastic in this case because not only with Perfect Guard at 2 charges per use, she has 4 head uses on top of that. So that is basically 8 free blows. And typically by then, that's about the tail end of a fight where you can basically guarantee you can hold your own without it and finish off the opponents relatively quickly before Saint Nurse could even get back to the start to take her next turn. Both arms are Count Repair, which are healing skills, which tie into her leg ability very nicely. Count Repair is a little more selective in terms of how it actually goes about healing and restoring HP though. In this case, Count Repair starts out with relatively minimal healing. Of course, that healing is scaling and relative to the healing skill and how high that's raised on the metal, but it starts out relatively minimal. But for every consecutive use of Count Repair, it gets progressively better. So the first use of Count Repair may not be super great, but by use 3, 4, even 5, if you can keep up to that, or if you can get that, or if you can survive that long for her to use it, it does get more and more efficient and you heal more HP more easily. The ability of Fix Plus, which buffs heat and cool stats and repair skill, does kind of tie into this very nicely. So even if she may not be the fastest on the field, that extra heat and cool will end up going to her advantage so that she can very quickly and very easily tend herself to the aid of an ally, whether it be restoring a part or repair or simply restoring lost HP, depending on if you choose to use her as a pure set or as mixed parts. Now, as a pure set, on that note, I would have to rate her about a pretty solid 6.5 out of 10, not for the fact that she's bad or has bad stats or Count Repair is not useful. Count Repair can be very handy if you can make use of it and build up to it relatively quickly. But the issue with Count Repair is in its description, is that the more times you use it, the better it gets. And in a lot of high competitive meta fights, you generally don't have that opportunity because you're too focused on trying to cripple the opponent faster than you are trying to heal yourself. And more often than not, you generally want to forego basic repair in favor of maybe restore to bring back a part even at just 10% HP, as usually having the part back is better than not having it at all. And in cases where a part is broken, repair basically becomes useless until it comes back. However, as mixed parts score, I would rate her much higher at an 8 out of 10, primarily for the sake that her leg ability, if you are going to use her legs on anything, primarily for healers, you can make use of them very quickly and very easily, and that extra heat cool bonus will further bolster her relatively sweet spot for her speed, making her a little bit faster overall and allow her to keep on her toes and keep up to speed with relatively most of the other nukers or fighters on the field. But Perfect Guard can be used just about anywhere, very easily, very conventionally, and it fits in just about any team build where its only weakness is essentially Slip or Destroy, not counting the fact the head also is non-heavy, so that makes it even more so flexible in the sense that you can use it anywhere very easily. So if you are going to use Saint Nurse as a pure set, she can hold her own relatively well, but you have to make sure that you can use Count Repair enough times that healing does start becoming efficient after a while.